Hello, good morning, students. In today's class, we are going to discuss some NCERT text question of chapter 1, class 12th. So, question we have to take here question number 1.1 to text exercise question 1.12. According to the question, two spheres A and B are separated by 50 centimeter distance and charge on the sphere is 6.5 into 10 to minus 7 coulomb. Example, question number 1.12, two sphere A and B. The distance separation between them is 50 centimeter. This is equals to 0.5 meter and charge on A is 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb, and here 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb. Okay. Now, question is, what is the mutual force, mutual electrostatic repulsion force? Because both charges same sign, that's why force acting between them is repulsive. So, what is the magnitude of the force is? You can write F equals to K Q1 Q2 by R square, and the charge are separated by 50 centimeter distance in air. So we can put here K equals to 9 into 10 to the power 9. Q1 is equals to Q2, both having same magnitude, that's why it is Q square R square. Now we can put here 9 into 10 to the power 9 into Q. 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 into 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 upon R square. R equals to 0.5 meter. 0.5 into 0.5. Okay. So point to point cancel. 13. So F is equals to 9 into 13 into 13, 169 into 10 to the power minus 7 plus minus 7 minus 14 plus 9. So minus 5. 14 minus 9 equals to minus 5. After multiplied we get 9 9 ja 81 1 7 8 6 9 9 15 into 10 to the power minus 5. So this is equals to 1.1235 into 10 to the power 3 power reduced to Newton. This is the force. 1.12 question A. This is the answer of question part A. Okay. Now part B. Question 1.12 questions part B. What is the force of repulsion in each sphere? It charged double the above amount and the distance between them is halved. The same question, but the magnitude of charge is doubled and distance should be halved. Then what is the new force? So we can calculate F dash is equals to K constant similar because medium is air, charge is halved. So Q1 is equals to Q2 is equals to Q by 2. Okay, so we can write here Q by 2 means Q into Q upon 2 into 2. Q by 2, Q by 2. And distance is halved. So R dash equals to R by 2. Now new distance here is R square by 2. It means charge is halved. Charge is halved. I think charge is halved or charge is doubled. Sorry, charge is doubled. Charge is double. Then it is 2Q. So Q 2q into 2q, and distance is half, so r square upon 2. 2 square is 4, or we can write here r by 2 square. Okay, now next case we can write k q square r square, 2 to the 4, and 2 is moving upward direction, so it is called 4. This is the force is equals to F. So F dash equals to F into 4 4 is 16. And what is the force between them is this. So F equals to 1.52 into 10 to the power minus 2. The force between two charges in air in previous condition. And the magnitude of charge is double for the previous condition, and distance is half for the previous condition. So we compared this force is in the previous situation, and F dash is the new force when charge is double and distance is halved, multiplied by 16. So we can multiply by 3, 16 and 8, so it's 2.4. 24.52 and 10 to the power minus 2. This can be written as 0.2432 power is shifted Newton. Then new force is equals to this. This is the question number, so B part of question number 1.12. Okay. Now we have to take next question here, 1.13. Next question is 1.13. According to question number 1.13, suppose a sphere A and B in exercise 1.12 have identical size, a third sphere of a same size but uncharged is brought in contact with the first. Here, listen carefully. It is linked with question number 1.12. Question number 1.13 is linked with question number 1.12. So we can write here question number 1.13. It is linked with question number 1.12. Then magnitude, let we assume the magnitude on charge on sphere A is Q, and on sphere is also Q. When another uncharged sphere, third uncharged sphere, is contact with A. Third, suppose this is uncharged sphere, identical sphere, all three are identical sphere, this is C. This is contact with A. Then the contact with A, charge Q, and here is neutral charge, total charge is Q, and separate, it's split into two parts, is divided, so charge is half because the size of the sphere is identical. That's why charge is equally distributed. So Q charge on the whole system is divided into Q by 2 and Q by 2. Okay? And then this is the A sphere and this is C sphere. And then C is, I think where is question? Yes, and then brought in contact with the first, then brought in contact with the second, and finally removed from both. And after that C is contact with B. So this is B sphere, B having Q charge and C having Q by 2 charge. This is C, this is B. Then total charge is 3Q by 2. Q plus Q by 2 equals to 3Q by 2, and after removing then we get sphere get charge 3Q by 4. 3Q by 4 because charge is equally distributed. Charge is equally distributed because spheres are identical. Then what is the new force between A and B? So finally A having charge Q by 2, here is charge on the sphere is A is Q by 2, and charge on the sphere is B is 3Q by 4. Okay. Now new force. What is the new force of the repulsion between A and B? So in first case,
In starting situation, the repulsive force F equals to K Q square by R square. Their separation is R. And again they are separated by R distance. So new force F dash is equals to K, charge on QA is Q by 2 and charge on B is 3Q by 4 and multiply R square. Separation is R.
Distance I think similar. In contact with second and the final remove from both, what is the new force of repulsion between A and B? Okay, yes.
So F dash is equals to KQ square upon R square is equals to F upon 3 by 8. 3, 4 to the 8. So new force is equals to 3F upon 8. So F dash is equals to 3F by 8. So 3 is equals to 3 into force, previous force.
What is the previous force? 1.52. I think 1.52, yes.
1.52 into 10 to the power minus 2 by 8. And solve this, we get answer. 6 minus 2 by 8. After solving, we get 5, 0. Okay, 5, 7. So F dash equals to 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 3 Newton. I think this is the answer.
1.13. 5.7 minus 3. Okay,
Right? Question number 3. 1.13.
and next question is question number 1.14. It is a very important question. This is also related to question number 1.33 and 1.34. 1.14.
Okay. Now I can remove this. Okay. Now 1.14 question.
Question number 1.14.
1.14.
This is also linked with or also the similar type of question 1.33 and 1.34.
1.33 and 1.34. All three questions having same method, same purpose. So for I'm explaining 1.14 question, 1.33 and 1.34. You are going to. I hope you may be trying this type of question. Okay. In figure this, according to the figure 1, 2 and 3. Okay. According to the question, suppose these are the two plates.
One is positive and another is negative.
This is a positive plate and another is negative plate. A charged particle is moving, entering inside. When a charged particle is moving straight here, and when it's entered between the plates, the path of the charged particle is going to be distinct. Suppose it is a positive charge. Suppose it is a negative charge. That's why it's bending towards positive. And if the negative charge is entering in the plate between the plates, and this is negative charge moving in this direction, and suppose positive charge entering and it is moving in this direction. Okay.
So how we can find which, according to question, how we can find what is the charge over mass ratio?
Which particle has more charge? Charge over mass, charge Q by M ratio is more. Okay.
So we can solve it according to this case.
A charged particle moving straight outside the electric field. When it's entering the electric field, the component of velocity, this is the V, velocity.
But when it's entered the electric field
is acting in this direction, positive 2. negative, and here the velocity of charged particle is split into two parts. One component is here and another component is here, and this is the velocity v. So this component is vx along the x-axis and this is the vy.
According to question, give the sign of the three charges. Which particle has the highest charge over mass ratio?
So we can, when we find the charge over mass ratio, we can find the shifting displacement along this axis. So we can find the displacement, then we can find the Q by M ratio. Okay? Yes. So, according to Newton's second equation, S, let the length of the plate is L and displacement along the y-axis is y. So according to Newton's second equation, S equals to ut plus half at square. According to vertical direction, so Sy, Uy, Ay. Time is a scalar quantity, that's why it is a constant value. So Sy is equals to y, Uy, this is Uy in vertical direction, initial velocity in vertical direction is 0, 0 multiplied by time is 0, plus half Ay t square. Here Ay equals to F is equals to mass along the y-axis A, and F is equals to mQe. Electrical force is QE. They are acting in y direction. Electrical force acting in this direction, electric field, and force according to motion of the charged particle is acting in opposite direction, because this component, Vx component, is constant. That's why there is no acceleration along the Vx axis. Along the x-axis, the only acceleration change along the y-axis. Okay, so Ay equals to May equals to Qe. So Ay equals to Qe by M. Okay. Now we can put here y equals to half Qe upon M into t square. Now we can find ratio Q by M ratio, value of t. The charged particle is moving from this end to this end, its total travel distance L, and velocity along the x-axis is Vx. So according to Newton's second equation, Sx equals to uxt plus half ax t square. Along the horizontal axis, x-axis acceleration is 0 because there is no change in velocity, and acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. There is no change in velocity, therefore acceleration along the x-axis is 0. So the whole term is 0 because ax is 0. So Sx is equals to L, this distance is L, of charged particle traveling this distance. So this is equals to L. Ux is equals to initial velocity and final velocity is same. It is equals to Vx, and time is t. So time t equals to L upon Vx. Now we can put the value of t is here. So y equals to half Qe upon M, and value of t equals to L by L square by Vx square. Okay. Clear then? Now we can calculate ratio of Q by M. So here is Q by M is here, so we can write Q by M is here. So next value is 2y upon 2y and Vx square. The whole value is moving upward, and E L square. Q by M, 2y Vx square, and E L square. Okay. Here is the expression of Q by M, and look it carefully. 2 is constant value, y. Vx is the horizontal component of velocity is constant, E is electric field constant, and L is the length of the plate is constant. So Q by M is depend on directly proportional to y. That means those charged particles have more Q by M value, their displacement is y is maximum. So according to the graph we can observe, according to the figure we can observe third particle is displacement more than 1. I think third is more than 1 because one particle distance between the 1 and 2 you can observe here. Look here, this distance here, this is, and this distance. Suppose this is a middle part, then this distance and this distance, which is greater? This distance is less, so here this distance, this is less distance, that's why remaining distance is more than this. So third particle, third charge has more Q by M value, okay, because y is directly proportional to Q by M, and nature of charges are 1 and 2 having negative charge because they are moving towards positive plate, and third charge is positive charge because it's moving towards negative plate, and all over them third charge has maximum Q by M value because for third charge is the displacement is maximum, okay. Similarly, question number 1.33 and 1.34 similarly solved according to question 1.33. Look here, according to 1.33, question number 1.33, here 1.33 expression is this: QEL square upon 2mVx square. Here Q by M equals to, is that the deflection of particle here, y, the deflection of the particle in the far edge, okay. So in this case it's find it, a question asks the what is the value of y, so we can write here y equals to Q E L square upon 2 m Vx square. This is the expression of y. Look here. Look. QEL square 2mVx square. QEL square 2mVx square y. Okay. So question number 1.33 and question number 1.34 is just the numerical. We can put the numerical values in this formula so we get the answer. Okay. For today's class, I think it is sufficient, and I hope you have to solve all in-text questions of NCERT. Okay? For today's class, this is over, and for in next class we are going to discuss some problems or next other topic. If you have some problem, then please ask me. I'll try my best to solve your problem.